Hey everybody, this is D Hunter bringing another action figure review. Today we're going to be looking at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Wolverine in regular clothing and his motorcycle. I got this guy on a Cyber Monday deal to Amazon for just a couple dollars more than retail. He sold out at Hasbro Pulse and I didn't see another chance to get him. Pretty excited for this guy. I'm excited to use the motorcycle for a lot of different purposes. And then we've got Wolverine out of costume in jeans and a wife beater with a couple different heads. This is a comic version of Wolverine. This is not the first time they've made a Wolverine motorcycle pack. I can think of a few different ones they've made. So let's check out the packaging here. As you can see, Marvel Legends, Wolverine, all these claw marks in the back, really cool effect. The motorcycle, this is the biggest part of this I'm looking forward to. And we've got Wolverine, two different heads, one with an eye patch. This head looks pretty scrunched up and weird. At the bottom, looks like Amazon put their own barcode on top of their regular one, but you can make out the numbers if that helps you. Bunch of credits. One side, Wolverine on the bike. Other side, same thing. And then the back, here he is on the bike, looking excellent. So no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He does come with two alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, as well as some removable claws. He's got 2 different heads, but more importantly, he comes with a motorcycle. It's got a couple of removable satchels and some handlebars. But we'll look at the bike in a sec. First, let's take a look at this figure. So here's Wolverine, or more so, Logan out of his X-Men costume. He's wearing his jeans and a wife beater. Now the first thing I thought when I opened this figure, did I somehow get a Chinese bootleg? I did get mine from Amazon.com, it was with Prime, but it was through a third-party seller. When I checked it out, he had some really good feedback, like 99% positive. But the reason I say that, look at his face, my god, it looks so bad. It's all scrunched up. The only thing I can think of is maybe it's supposed to be him on his motorcycle with the wind flapping, but my god, it looks awful. Sort of Asian anime style, scrunched up, just looking bizarre. I don't know what to say. The reason I'm not sure if it's a bootleg, I mean, the other head looks fine. Look at it, I have no problem there. Typical Marvel Legends. On the alternate head, he's got his hair sticking up. On this one, his hair is flat. I mean, is it supposed to be going through the wind like that? But geez, that looks bad and ridiculous. I do have some other Logan and Wolverine heads I can pop on this guy. I just don't know what to say here. If anybody else has a set, tell me if this looks familiar to you, because my god, it looks just terrible. Going further down, nothing else really looks bad. I mean, he has all the regular articulation. It's smooth, got the hair on his shoulders. The jeans looks fine, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows. I don't know what to say about this face though. It is trash. So here's a figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with his hands. Here he is with his semi-open gripping hands. These are his only pair of hands that don't have the notches to add the claws. So in effect, these are his only normal hands. Here he is with his fisted hands. These are the hands that will accommodate the claws. I do like the fact that the claws are removable, so you can have them with fists, with the claws in, or with the claws out. Now if you're going to do that, he does have these holes in his fists, so it looks rather bad, but it's still nice to have a couple different options. Here he is with his claws attached and out. He can cross his arms and kind of make the X-Men logo. He can have one claw in, giving you the middle finger. He can use one claw to open a beer. A lot of different customizable display options with his claws. Now let's take a look at his heads. He has 2 of them. One is that god-awful scrunched up face, and the other one has an eye patch and looks pretty normal. Luckily for me, I really bought this figure mainly for the motorcycle, and to have Wolverine or Logan as a background character at a bar or a scene like that. Here he is with his first head, and this looks god-awful. Makes you wonder, did I get a Chinese bootleg? Did I just get a bad one? Do they all look bad? Drop me a line in the comments below. Let me know what you think. As long as the motorcycle checks out, I'm cool with this set. But man, just look at this thing. Here's his second head. This one has an eye patch on, and this head looks just fine. Looks like every other Logan, Hasbro Marvel Legends figure. It doesn't look bad at all. That's why I'm really torn. Wouldn't all the pieces sort of look bad if it was a bootleg? I just don't understand. Here's another unmasked Logan head I had in my fodder pile. This did not come with this figure. I'm not certain what figure this came with. I think this is the head I'm going to use on this figure when he's riding on the bike with his claws out, and I'm going to throw that scrunched up head into my fodder pile, never to be used again. And looking at some other reviews and photos online, it appears this head is just bad. I don't think it's a bootleg. I think it's just a horrible face and head sculpt. Now let's take a look at his bike. His motorcycle comes in a few different pieces. We've got the 2 removable satchels for the back, and then we've got the handlebars for the front. Let's check out and attach the pieces to the bike. Let's get it fully assembled before we go over it in detail. So first of all, he's got these 2 satchels for the back. They're in sort of a rubbery, bendable material. Something that surprised me. It was really cool. They can open, they can function. You can actually put stuff inside of there. Very, very unexpected and very nice indeed. Here it is with these satchels attached. It has a peg that attaches to this one, and then another sort of peg that attaches to this one. It's pretty secure on there, and I can't stress enough how pleased I am that they actually function. Now let's attach the handlebar. Here's the motorcycle fully assembled with the satchels and the handlebars attached. Now let's take a look at the bike. So first of all, it's got a nice blue, silver, black colors to it. I will say the silver looks a little bit toyetic. It doesn't look very realistic. Would have liked it a little bit different there. Got some headlights at the front. See the handlebars, no actual articulation with those. The whole front of the bike can rotate, allows you to turn. The wheel moves freely. We've got this stand on the bottom that will allow it to display and not fall over. Very nice and important for a motorcycle. Got the satchels that can open. You can store stuff in there. Maybe Wolverine puts his costume in there. The back wheel also moves. That's about it on the action features. Not a bad looking bike. I mean, the screws are very noticeable. The silver, I don't know, just feel like it could have a lot more detail to it. It looks a little bit more like a toy than a realistic motorcycle. But I think I can put this to a lot of different various uses in my action figure world. Here's Logan leaning on his motorcycle, smoking a cigar as he often does. Here he is riding on the motorcycle. His hands fit the handlebars, his feet touch the pedals. He fits on the bike pretty nicely, and it even looks like it would accommodate figures a little bit larger than him. And even though it didn't come with this figure, this is the head I would use if he's riding the bike and has his claws out, hunting somebody down. Here he is, driving his motorcycle through the city streets, and then making a stop at the local bar or tavern. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure, his accessories, and his bike, now let's check out the measurements. So Logan here, typically a pretty short guy in the comics. From bottom to the top of his head, sitting at about 5.8 inches tall. And if you look at the bike, from bottom to about this point, about 4.5 inches tall. And then as far as how long it is, about 8.5 inches. And now let's look at his articulation. Starting with his head here, it's on a ball joint. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. It can look up and down about that much. Would have been nice if we could look up a little further while riding his bike. Cannot really tilt from side to side. Shoulders on a ball joint, they can go out about 90 degrees, a little bit more. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. It's got a bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows below that. His wrist here, it can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. It's got an ab crunch in the middle. That is helpful when riding his motorcycle, allows him to look up a little bit more. Traditional waist swivel below that. Legs on ball joints, they can only go out about this far. Then go forward about that much, and back really not at all. He's got a thigh cut below that. Double jointed knees below that. Then his foot here, go up and down. Then it can tilt and rock as well, and rotate. Now let's check him out, compared to some other action figures, starting off with some other Marvel figures. Here he is, next to the Marvel Legends Cowboy Logan. These guys share 100% of the same parts except for the head, just painted differently. And here, next to a couple of comic Old Man Logan figures. they also share several parts with this Logan. Then, next to some movie Logan figures. And here, next to an older Toy Biz Marvel Legends Old Man Logan figure. Then, next to some really old, I believe, Toy Biz, Fox, X-Men, Wolverine figures. And here are all my different Wolverine and Logan figures together. Now, this is not the first time they've made a Wolverine and motorcycle set together. On the far left, we've got a Toy Biz, Marvel Legends, Old Man Logan and motorcycle. In the middle, we've got the Hasbro Marvel Legends, Logan and motorcycle. And on the far right, I believe that's a Toy Biz, X-Men, Fox movie film, Logan and motorcycle. Although I'm not super fond of the other two Logan figures, these other motorcycles have gotten a lot of mileage in my action figure world. I usually use the Toy Biz Old Man Logan motorcycle for Red Hood in my Batman world, and then the Fox X-Men motorcycle for my NECA Terminator 2 Arnold Schwarzenegger figure. Here are all three of the bikes side by side. They all look really good. And here they all are from the front. Now this is the second figure and motorcycle combo from Hasbro's Marvel Legends that I've gotten. Here he is, next to a Black Widow and motorcycle combo. I gave this motorcycle to Batwoman as the red and black color scheme worked perfect. I'm actually going to be getting the Punisher motorcycle set tomorrow. And here it is, next to an older Toy Biz Marvel Legends Blade and motorcycle set. Then, next to a Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Baroness and motorcycle set. And here, next to a couple of motorcycles from Kenner's Batman Forever line. And here, next to several 1/12 scale die-cast motorcycles I got on eBay. Then, next to both Kenner and NECA's version of John Connor's dirt bike from Terminator 2. And next to a bunch of 1/12 scale motorcycles from a company called Maisto. These are also really cheap. Then, next to a bunch of older Jack's Wrestling motorcycles. Now, next to some more 1/12 scale die-cast motorcycles. These are some police motorcycles that work pretty good with the NECA Ultimate T1000 motorcycle comp. Here it is, next to a Mezco 1/12 scale Judge Dredd motorcycle. And here, with the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series Batcycle. I got 3 of these for Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. Now, next to a few different Batpods from the Dark Knight trilogy. One's from Mattel, one's from SH Figure Arts, and one's from Mafex. They're all pretty comparably sized. And finally, next to a whole bunch of other miscellaneous Batman motorcycles. Now let's check out this Logan and motorcycle set, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how they fit in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can use them with. We're also going to see which lines can actually fit on the motorcycle. We'll start our comparisons with my smaller action figure lines and work our way larger. Here it is, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. And here's the Fortnite figure sitting on the motorcycle. Arms don't quite reach the handlebars, so maybe a little too small. Then here's the motorcycle and Logan next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And here's the SH Figure Arts figure on the bike. Now it's really hard to get a figure to sit down in the seat, have their feet on the pedals, and have their arms on the handles. Hell, even the Wolverine figure doesn't do that very easily. But they don't look too bad on this bike. Then, here they are, next to some of their Hasbro Marvel Legends brothers. And of course, his fellow Marvel Legends are going to fit in there pretty good. And here they are, next to some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Mattel, DC, and Jurassic Park figures. And here's a Mattel figure sitting on the bike. It seems like almost all the lines have trouble reaching the handlebars. And here they are, next to some Mezco 1/12 cloth soft goods action figures. And here's the Mezco figure on the motorcycle. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And if you're not too picky about their feet being on the pedal, these larger lines are continuing to fit on the bike. And here, with some NECA figures. And they continue to look halfway decent on this bike. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. Fudgeable perhaps. And here they are with some McFarlane toys. And as long as you can get over their feet not being on the pedal, even these larger lines fit on the bike. And finally, here they are next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. And I must say, I'm pretty impressed with what a wide variety of figures can actually sort of work on this bike. Yes, it's a little bit underscaled for these 7-inch figures, but it's passable. So overall, this is a pretty nice bike and figure set. I bought this thing mainly for the motorcycle, and it doesn't disappoint. My expectations were not that high, so not that hard to not disappoint me. The biggest thing I would like to change is the color of gray or silver, make it a little more metallic and realistic looking, and would have really made this bike better. Very impressed with the actually functioning satchels in the back. Very disappointed with this Wolverine Logan figure. That first head is atrocious. I can pretty much just throw the thing in the trash. It's so bad. I will never do that in my fodder pile. The body is pure reuse. Nothing really horrible going on there. It does have nice texturing on the clothing, both the jeans and the t-shirt. And I'm planning to use him as just a regular background character in a bar scene or something like that. So overall, bought it for the bike. Pleased with the bike. It works with way more action figure lines than I expected. If I were to rate this set, I think I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. That Logan head just really brings this thing down a notch. If that head was mediocre, this thing would probably get a 7.5 out of 10. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add it to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.